across the void beyond the mind, the empty space that circles time. I see where others stumble blind to seek a truth they never find. Eternal wisdom is my guide. I am the Doctor. Through cosmic waste the TARDIS flies to taste the secret source of life. A presence science can't deny exists within, outside, behind the latitude of human minds.
YouTube, and today I'm doing my top 10 Jon Pertwee stories. I was going to do top 5, but I forgot some other brilliant stories, so I thought I'd do a top 10. Well, it was my dad's idea. He's done his top 10, and that's only in picture form, so I'll just put a caption saying my dad's top 10. Also, they have announced the Mind of Evil cover. You see it there, which is really cool. But that's Region 1's cover, which is, yeah, it's okay. They've also released the Ice Warrior cover. If you want to see that, check out Harry Williams' video on it, because he's done a video on it. And there's a small section of Terror of the Zygons cover being announced by Lee Binding. Now, if you're on Facebook and you want to see some of Lee Binding's work, then type in Tea Lady Design, and the profile picture, what they have is the Asylum of the Daleks picture when Matt Smith's holding Amy, carrying Amy, and the cover photo is Time and the Rani. Okay, so let's start at number 10, which is Day of the Daleks. Now, if you're gonna watch this story, buy the DVD, because it has new voices, new special effects, and some added people, because the final battle sequence in this was a bit poor. There's only about 3 Daleks, so they've added some Daleks in it, and Ogrons and more unit members. Yeah, the voices of the Daleks are a bit bad on the original, but, well, they are a bit shockingly bad, but they're manageable. So Nick Briggs does the voices, and he's fantastic at doing the Dalek voices. Yeah, brilliant story. At number 9 we have my first ever Jon Pertwee story, what I saw and got on DVD, is Inferno. There's always a scene what sticks in my mind about this, and that's when Jon Pertwee's driving Bessie and the brigade's leader troops are shooting at him, and he's like dodging it all, and it's just brilliant. This story scared me to death with the Primods. They're really terrifying. While they scared me, and they still sort of send a shiver down my spine. Yeah, I've ordered the special edition of this, so I'm looking forward to getting that. Yeah. So at number 8 we have the Master and Joe Grant's first story, Terror of the Autons. Now the Autons are a lot better in this, because they take on a few more forms. They take on daffodils, phone wires, and a creepy troll doll, which only comes alive when it's really hot. Yeah, I love the conversation what the Master and the Doctor have on the phone, and the Master's like, "Is that you, Doctor?" And the Doctor's like, "Yes, it is. What do you want?" "I came simply to say goodbye." And then he gets his weird device and that just shrieks, and then the phone wire just wraps round Pertwee. And it's always interesting to see Jon Pertwee trying to express sort of plain, because he gets this quite a funny face, and I like it. It's really cool. Yeah, Katie Manning's really good in this story. Brilliant first story. And Mike Yates, this is his first story, I can't forget that. An interesting sort of ending, especially the end of the battle sequence. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. Something shocking happens to the Master. Or is it really the Master? Okay, so next we have the Claws of Axos. At number 7, I think it is. Yep, number 7, I think. 10, 9, yeah, number 7. I like this story, but you can well, I recommend if you're going to try and start the classic series, then do start on this. I like the idea that the Master and the Doctor have to collaborate to defeat Axos. Ooh. Now the Axons themselves are really elegant in their gold form, and then there's a big contrast when they turn into this horrible red sort of blob, which is quite freaky. Yeah, I love the interior of the spaceship, of the Axon spaceship. It's brilliant. Okay, and number 6 we have Jon Pertwee's first story and the Auton's first story, and this Shaw's first story, which is Spearhead from Space. Now, I first saw this story on BBC 4, and this instantly became my favourite Jon Pertwee story, but a few other stories have taken over, as you can probably tell. Yeah, I found the Autons a lot more scarier because they could run. The only Auton story I saw, thinking back to when I first saw it, was Rose, and the Autons in Rose were just walking in this. The Autons could run in this, and that dude's very freaky in the story. Ooh, he's very freaky. He's a freaky dude. And I also found it scary that these Autons had hair, and you could see like the mesh. I know that sounds really weird, you know, Autons with hair, but it is. I find it freaky. Don't question my logic. Okay, yeah, this is when I become really scared of the Autons. So we begin the top 5. Death to the Daleks. Yay! Wonderful story. I love the Dalek design. I love the idea that the Daleks have little dinky TARDISes in their spaceship, what they test their weapons on. It's quite funny, that, just to think about that. Yeah, I love Bilal. He's a lovely little character. You can see there, Bilal. Yeah, I really believe these sort of quarry. I'm not joking. I actually do believe that you can mistake it as an alien planet. I mean, I'm not actually joking about this. The set is, well, the sort of location filming is absolutely fantastic, and the first scene when after the opening titles is very striking, when a man just walking, then he gets shot in the arm and he falls into this sort of lake, which it's very striking. Okay, so at number 4 we have the Time Warrior, Elizabeth Sladen's first story, and the Sontaran's first story. Now, I love the idea that Lynx is taking scientists away, and the Brigadier has to accommodate for all these scientists what are under guard because Lynx is taking them. There is a CGI version of this story with new special effects, so you can see Lynx's pod crash better than what it was done. I love the character. I love the character Iron Gron. Brilliant. Lynx is fantastic. I love that Lynx is supplying Iron Gron weapons to defeat the Earl of Southampton, if I'm right in saying, and the Doctor's helping the Earl of Southampton to defeat Lynx. And it's a very interesting story because Lynx gives him some cool gadgets like a gun. I know that doesn't seem very cool now, but back in the Middle Ages they didn't have it. Well, they didn't have muskets till like near the end of the Tudors. Yeah, and they weren't very accurate then, but Lynx's were pretty accurate. And then he had a remote control knight, which is really cool. Okay, so now we move on to Jon Pertwee's favourite story, The Daemons. Now, I first saw this story on BBC 4. Again. Yeah, Stephen Thorne is absolutely fantastic as Azal. Love Bok. This is a really good story. It shows the unit bonds very well. Yeah, and I love the scene when Bessie's being forced towards the heat barrier. I love all the scenes with Bessie, and Bessie's just an awesome car. Okay, at number 2 we have 2 entries, but they follow on from each other, which is Frontier in Space and Planet of the Daleks. So if we look at Frontier in Space, which is sadly Roger Delgado's last story as the Master, which is a shame. I love how it links into Planet of the Daleks. When a brilliant cliffhanger in episode 5, when the Daleks get a reveal like Master, like, oh, I brought some old friends along, Doctor. That's just brilliant. The Draconians are fantastic. Jon Pertwee's favourite sort of monster, because you can see the expression on their faces. And yeah, so now this is my favourite 1970s Dalek story. It's lovely to see the files in the story. I love the cliffhangers in this, especially in episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 is Jon Pertwee revealing that the Daleks are on the planet. I mean, you know the Daleks are in the story by the title, but it's nice to see that there is a Dalek in the first episode. And in episode 2, because one of the files say, somewhere on this planet there are 10,000 Daleks. And that's a brilliant moment. I love the Supreme Dalek, he's pretty snazzy. Yeah, the Spiralians are really clever. Another clever idea. Trying to be invisible. Now I love the scenes when the Daleks being pushed into the ice cave, like the ice lakes. Yeah, and the ending's quite strong when Jon Pertwee says, even though you might bask in the glory, remember who died in this expedition, who won't be going home. I think that's a really beautiful moment. Absolutely brilliant moment. Planet of the Daleks is a really good story. One of the best Dalek stories of the classic series. Okay, so now it is time for number 1. It is 2 entries again, but they are the same with a few differences, added characters, etc. So I'm going to do it now. So my number 1 Jon Pertwee story is, enjoy tying it all up, is the Silurians and the Sea Devils. Now, I think these stories are basically, you've got to watch one to understand the other, so you've got to watch the Silurians to understand the Sea Devils. Yeah, the aspects what it changes, the Silurians are underground, the Sea Devils are in the sea, hence the name. You've got Unit in this one, and the Navy in this one. Yeah, I chose these because they stories are very personal to me. They've got me through very bad times of my life and really good times of my life. And when I've had a bad day, I just stick one of these stories and I just feel 10 times better. Yeah, so let's talk about the Silurians first. First story to feature Bessie. Yes, lovely Bessie. Yeah, the music, people think it's a bit but I think it actually really suits the Silurians movement. And I love the people when they've got the plague and they're just falling over like railings in London. Yeah, and I think the Silurian design is absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant 7-part story by Malcolm Hulk. Brilliant story. Now to the Sea Devils. Now this story has the Master in it, who's trying to awaken the Sea Devils and rise from the sea. Now that's always a memorable moment for me. And the mind scene when John's got his Sonic and he's letting all the mind off trying to get the Sea Devil away from him, and where he broke the Sonic screwdriver when he landed on it. Yeah, it's nice because you've got actual boats what they were on, and it's a very action-packed story. I love Sea Devils, they're fantastic. Yeah, they're brilliant. This is a fantastic story. I do really want to review the Beneath the Surface box set at some point. Yeah, it's just a really good story, and it's very believable, this story. Well, these two are actually, because you can believe that there is an underwater city such as Atlantis. And I thought of a weird idea that the people of Atlantis sort of turned into the Sea Devils. Weird idea, but obviously the Sea Devils were here before us. And something underground, which is quite scary because of what lies underneath ground, what we walk on. Yeah, I mean, when I go to a beach, I just automatically think of this story, and it just terrifies you as a kid, just thinking, is a Sea Devil going to pop up from the sea? Yeah, so this has been my top 10 Jon Pertwee stories. I'm currently at the Tom Baker stage. maybe another top 10 as well. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video.